All right, let's talk about NFL free agency, more specifically the AFC West, because I feel like that's just a division to talk about nowadays. What's up, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome back to the channel. Of course, I'm joined with Ben, and in this video, we're talking about, like I said, the AFC West. They're absolutely stacked. Like, I feel like every team is absolutely stacked. Let's just quickly go through them. You got the Chiefs. Really quick, they replaced Tyrann Mathieu with Reed, which, I mean, I feel like is like for like at this point. I mean, whatever. I don't know why. I mean, Tyrann Mathieu is a stud safety, but whatever. I guess maybe contract or fit wasn't working or personality, whatever. They had Juju Smith-Schuster, which is going to be the greatest collab on TikTok ever with Jackson Mahomes if he isn't banned from the stadium or from going to games. So that's dope.
No, God, please, no.
So two big pickups for the Chiefs, or two notable pickups for the Chiefs. Obviously, with the Broncos, the big notable pickup was Russell Wilson, and it was Randy Gregory flipping from the Cowboys to the Broncos, which I think was a massive signing for them. For the Chargers, you had the big trade in sending Khalil Mack, pairing up with Joey Bosa, and also adding J.C. Jackson as another corner, which is going to be really, that's going to be an exciting secondary with him and Derwin James. Yeah. I'm blanking on him. But that's going to be exciting secondary. And then you have the Raiders, obviously, with the big pickup of Devontae Adams and some other good signings that they've done as well. Hassan Reddick too. I mean I forgot about that. Oh, and Chandler Jones.
No, wait, my bad.
It was Chandler Jones.
Hassan Reddick. Chandler Jones.
It was Chandler Jones. Yeah.
Hassan Reddick went to the Eagles. My bad.
Yeah. It was Chandler Jones, which is I'm liking that pickup, by the way. Anyways, still gonna probably finish second in the division somehow, but I don't really care.
You finished second in a one-horse race.
And that horse is the special needs one from Family Guy. All right, that's
Peter, there's something off about that horse.
You have an eye for animals, Lois. This horse is brain damaged. That's why I got it so cheap.
That's what the Cowboys are limping in with. All right, at this point, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, with all the cuts and the weird roster moves that they make, we can get into that with a different video. But we'll talk about the AFC West. I don't want to make a prediction just yet because we're only a week into free agency and there's a lot of other moves that could happen. There's a lot of other good pickups that could take place. In between, some solid pickups. Like, for example, the Raiders pick up Matt Collins from the Dolphins, who Ben knows has been
very solid. I
think an undervalued and solid wide receiver, like a wide receiver 3 or 4 on any team. Obviously with that miracle catch against the Raiders a few seasons ago. What was it? The Fitzmagic pass?
It was Fitzmagic.
It was Fitzmagic. But Ben, what is your take so far in the AFC West? Because we were talking off camera, and all 4 of them could legitimately make the playoffs.
Yeah, so technically, I mean, we haven't done the math when it comes to the standings, but technically, since there are 3 wildcard spots now, I don't know about the extra game. I remember doing the math when it was 16, and I saw that all teams can go 10-6 in a division. And technically, if things work out, then they can make the playoffs. But we're all kind of looking at it, and it's almost like, all right, pick one. I mean, they all, when you say, perfect, what they did, it's close. It's very close. I mean, I think the Chiefs are probably the one that did the most minimal upgrade, I would say. But
it's not like they also had to do much either.
Right, exactly. But getting Juju's a good pickup, in my opinion. I think kind of getting away from the Steelers and going to someone like Andy Reid, who I think, we can talk all we want about how great Andy Reid is. I think maybe Tyrann Mathieu it was probably a contract and age situation. Kind of just, they have the Mahomes contract that they really can't do much.
Justin Reid is like 25, and I think the Honey Badger is 30, 29.
He's starting to get up there. Yeah. So I would say that the Chargers and Raiders are the 2 teams in my opinion, I'm most excited by. The Chargers, especially because we were all saying, okay, the defense has to get better.
It has significantly.
Yes, exactly. Khalil Mack.
The Bears are paying for Khalil Mack to pretty much play for the Chargers, essentially, which is crazy.
I mean, this to me, they know the importance of a rookie QB contract deal and what they can do to cash in on that. And yeah, I mean, look, it's not a situation where you kind of go, okay, well, maybe the quarterback is the one, so we're just going to push in all our chips and everything else, and if the quarterback gets better. Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback right now. I think we can all.
Damn, that took probably a lot for you to say.
No, I don't hate on the people that were in the draft. You know, I just know that we have the best Alabama quarterback in Tua, which is fine. We're getting off topic here. Anyways, so the Chargers, I think, have upgraded massively where they needed to, and then you have the Raiders,
right,
who, I mean, we're going to talk about upgrades. Look at that team. They just got Devontae Adams, you know, arguably the best receiver in the league.
Yeah.
You then go out and get, I said assignment last time, Chandler Jones, who was a beast.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. As an outside linebacker, he's done unbelievably well. Yes, it's for 3 years, 51, and he already is 32. But I mean,
he was averaging like what? He averaged for the past couple seasons, like
sacks. It's insane,
crazy numbers.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, it's not a Von Miller pickup where it's for 6 years and he's already 33. Like this is a great pickup in Chandler Jones, in my opinion. Now, the one thing I'm most intrigued by is the fact that I think Josh McDaniels is going to flop as a head coach, because I mean, look, in my opinion, I don't think we've ever really seen, and I've seen it firsthand, we've ever really seen a Patriots guy do well outside of the Belichick system. And especially with all the talent around them, I would have thought they probably would have gone for someone like Doug Peterson. I thought maybe that could have fit him a little bit. Like, if you're going to push for it now, I would rather done it with someone who actually went to the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots. And then, I mean, I think one of the best Super Bowls I've ever seen. Shout out Brandon for being an Eagles fan. But really, I'm excited about that. We were talking about this off camera, and I think I'll back it up by saying this is something that I've said multiple times. I was ridiculed when I first said it. Russell Wilson's second half of the season is going to be the reason why the Broncos don't make the playoffs. Because if I'm looking purely at that team, the Seahawks have better weapons for him. They traded away Noah Fant.
You don't think Jerry Jeudy's going to have a breakout year?
My last name Judy. People sometimes call me short for Jew, like one Jew. So I just got a Jewish star. So
that is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You are a fucking idiot.
Because let's be real. Let's think about who his quarterbacks have been. He's also put up solid numbers with Teddy Bridgewater.
He's had horrible props, though. That's the problem. It's not.
I know.
It's not as if he hasn't made the leap for being a decent to a good wide receiver. He has. I don't think we're arguing that. I think I'm arguing the fact of we're already seeing rookies come in and outplay him. We're already seeing Cortland Sutton, who was 29 right now, like starting to come in and still be the number one guy. They didn't address the tight end situation. I don't think. I don't really remember.
I think it's still probably gonna be like Freiermuth or something like that. But
Freiermuth is in Pittsburgh.
Oh. No, there's some backup. They have some backup tight end, but mostly like the backups that they have been blocking, because Noah Fant has been one of those receiving tight ends. Right. Not so much like a slot guy like Gesicki, but or Waller, but because he's a bit bigger than that, like Hawkinson, pretty much, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And look, I love Javonte Williams. I mean, I said, in my opinion, he was. My comp for him when he came out of the draft was Marshawn Lynch. I love the prospect that in Miami were a pick away. But really, I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, okay, it's good and all, but you combine with, I don't know if the head coaching hire was the best, in my opinion, that they could have made. I don't know how Russell Wilson will take to Denver. It's a hard place to win. And number 3, I don't think that team around him is as good as everyone says. Now, he is a fantastic quarterback. I've never doubted him most times. But I've said this before. You get to half the season and let Russ cook turns into a fiery disaster. It really does. And to me, the Broncos are a very well-built team. They're a quarterback away. Did they pick the right quarterback? I
mean, look, you also have to imagine that the Broncos, because you have to think, it was last week, right? That it was okay, Aaron Rodgers re-signs with the Packers, and then like an hour or two later, Russell Wilson gets traded to the Broncos. Not saying it was like 1A or 1B, like either or, because I think the reports indicated that they were mostly targeting Russ at that point, or at, you know, for a majority of the at that point. But you also have to think that Russell Wilson had a no trade clause, and he signed off of going to the Broncos. Like, this wasn't, you know, he had to, you know, hear the Broncos proposal and say, okay, like, we, you know, it's a good situation, you know, offensive line solid. You know, they've promised, you know, we probably can get another weapon or two, depending on the package that's going to be. I think losing Noah Fant's going to be a big issue for them, but if they could fill that somehow, that's great. Or they can also address it probably later in the draft. I know they gave up their first round pick this year, but they could probably address it because this is a deep wide receiver class. They could probably address a few of those issues. You mentioned Javonte Williams. I definitely think fantasy-wise, he is now top 10, top 15 if they don't sign back Melvin Gordon. I think it's just going to be interesting to see who's going to come in last in this division. And I think it's just going to be one of those things where it's like, it's going to be hard to come in last or even third, for example, and probably still have a 9 to 10 to 11 win season.
It's kind of how we projected the division with the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams last season. Like, we all thought, okay, those are three great teams. They're all going to have, you know, 9-10 wins. Evidently, two of them did, I think, but...
Yeah, the Cardinals and Cardinals, Rams, and 49ers.
Oh, yeah, three of them did.
It was just the Seahawks that flopped. But I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, look, I think probably going into this, I made the joke off camera, and probably thinking back on it now, it's like, you know, could it happen? Possibly, but you know, the Chargers are doing all this just to come in fourth in the division, like in the AFC West. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but let us know in the comment section down below where, you know, each team ranks in your opinion. Chiefs and Broncos, I think, are definitely up there, and like you mentioned, Ben, I think Chargers and Raiders are going to be the X factor, the interesting ones to look at this season, because I legitimately think the Broncos were a quarterback away, like a solid quarterback away from contending in that division. I don't know about making it all the way to the Super Bowl. I think possibly getting another weapon or two for Russell Wilson could, you know, bolster that, because I think it will take one injury for, you know, that offense to kind of fall apart a little bit. But look, I think it's also going to, I think in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be a very interesting, you know, regular season. We're only a week into free agency and things have been wild, but let us know in the comment section down below, like I said, where you rank all these teams. Again, thank you so much for Ben for coming on. Link for his channel is going to be in the description down below. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications, and also like the video. That's going to be it for us. Take it easy and have a good one, and peace.